Welcome back, terrestrials. In keeping theme with our top horrors of each category, we're doing
Carrie.
right. But
We're-
what category? Is it paranormal,
Uh,
religious,
it's
psychic,
religious.
religious?
Religion. Yeah.
Is this the one we chose for religion, not the exorcist?
We chose both of them because they're both really good.
All right, so we're talking about Carrie. Can we just take a moment to admire Sissy Spacek? Like
Yeah.
she is so beautiful and she's so good in this movie.
Yes.
Like she makes me feel like I'm watching a documentary through the first half of this movie of like some kid's horrible high school
Just life. Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It yeah.
And she doesn't like, she acts like totally well, but there's like this separation where she doesn't need to overact. She
Mhm,
doesn't need to have like, even when she's using her, how do you act that you have telekinesis?
mhm,
She's just at the end, she's just staring,
mhm,
with those eyes wide open,
mhm.
or even with the little boy, creepy Carrie, she just looks,
Mhm.
but there's very little like moments of her acting can't be believable in the movie. Like there's just
Nah, I think she did it right, and I think that the cameraman got all the angles proper. Like
oh yeah.
it was great to show her from underneath like this when she's using her powers. Like
Hmm.
it lets you know that that's when she's doing it, and you're right, it's very subtle. She's not like flicking like with her
Right.
hand and shit. Like
Right.
it's not over delivered. And
Magic
even
spells
yeah, when she's
and shit.
playing, yeah, exactly. Ooh,
Yeah. That would
but
have like ruined the movie completely.
yeah.
I was noticing 70s horror movies, like a
Mhm,
lot of them. Like there are this this kind of element where horror is secondary. Do you ever get that notice? Like in The Exorcist, it's a drama, and then there's horrifying stuff that starts happening that ramps up that horror.
okay, yeah, yeah, I'm following you.
This, there's comedy in it. Like, the fucking, like, they're throwing comedy. They're throwing like
I
it's a
didn't,
teenage movie
I
of
didn't, I
this.
didn't see comedy. Where did you see comedy?
They speed up like the tuxedo,
Oh
like
yeah,
when they're
yeah.
arguing, like
Okay,
it's like,
yeah.
what are you doing here? But
They even
everything,
speed up a conversation in the
yeah.
movie. You don't even
Like,
hear the conversation.
yeah, they're doing that. And um like the principal keeps getting her name wrong,
Mhm.
you know um which
I think that that's just plot points to point out how
like,
insignificant she is in that
right,
school.
yeah, that makes sense. But I was just noticing, like, this movie, like in all 70s movies, you have like this this sense of like, we can do anything in this movie, but when the horror starts, that's when we ramp it to 10.
Yeah.
It's not like now. I mean, the remake, I never got to watch the remake. It would be like horror, like just
Mhm. Well,
stacked
I
on
think
top of each
because
other.
it is a remake, it follows the same storyline, the same plot line. But yeah, I mean, a lot of horror movies, a lot of horror movies these days, they have to start with horror to keep people's attention because everybody's attention span's gone. In
Right.
the 70s, they did that where they gave you this drama and then horror. In the 80s, they ramped it up, but they still told a story first.
Right.
Then it all starts. Just like, Freddy, Jason, any of those guys. Like they give you this, like lay out the characters real
Hmm.
well, and then they get into the events. And I kind of like that more. I like I
Yeah.
try, yeah, because I try to like think about it like Ghostbusters and stuff. Like they're introducing you to these characters, You're
Yeah.
seeing them get to this point where they start the business, and then things start going like ghosts and blah 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 blah. Like it's that same pattern, it's that same idea. And I like that more. I like a story and then like little bits, because like she breaks the ashtray, she pops the light, those little bits to keep you like, nibbling until they get you where they want you. And then it's like, check out all this shit. And you're like, holy fuck. Like it makes the movie more entertaining, because like you take Marvel movies where they're everybody's flying all the fucking time and has this gun and like they're out of space. Like they've taken all of the interesting shit and sprinkled it throughout the movie. And then it's like, oh, it's like eating food where you eat like, your vegetables because, yeah, okay. And then you eat like your starch, and then you eat your meat because that's the most flavorful and fun thing to eat. Like you're
Hmm.
building up to the enjoyment of watching all of that. And I
Yeah.
think that this movie does that very well. And I
Yeah.
kind of like that more than I do just starting off with action and horror or
Or
whatever.
yeah, where you see a movie title called Bloody Knife,
Yeah.
and it just starts out like at 10.
Mhm.
This movie, it kind of just it just gear shifts up,
Yeah.
and it builds you, the audience member, more to want to watch it. Like, could you imagine back in 1970, like you went to go see Carrie and you had to leave halfway through it,
Mhm.
and then like you were like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna go see it. Like, what happens? Does she go to prom? It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, she goes to prom and fucks shit up. It's like, whoa, I have
Yeah.
to go back and see what you're talking about because I
Yeah.
couldn't see it. I can't see it in my mind's eye
Right.
because of all the events that were
And
going
you
on.
and you can't just Google it and watch the
Right.
YouTube
There's no
clip.
such thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, and I do enjoy that where we've always talked about slow builds
Mhm.
or those slow, but this is like almost on another level where there's two movies.
Mhm.
There's like if they're literally a point where they could have not been successful with the pig blood drop and it's just a teen comedy, or the blood drops and it turns into the horror movie.
Mhm.
It's just like these two paths laid out. I wish they would have done that.
Like an
Like,
alternate ending where it misses and
yeah,
she has a great night, and then,
yeah.
So my question, okay, so
It's like, which version did you see? Did you see the happy ending or did you see the bad ending? I don't know.
I watched it on Disney Plus. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
but
No, I watched mine on HBO.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
you should definitely watch the happy ending.
It's a completely different movie.
Yeah, I
Uh
know.
um
Like the curly blonde headed guy is like, I know that we're boyfriend girlfriend, but now Carrie's my girlfriend.
yeah.
You know,
So that's what I wanted to get to was, okay, so both of these people are in this plot of like she's all that type fucking like
right,
teen comedy plot of like take her to the prom, make her feel good.
right.
Do you think that they had genuine intentions? Because
I believe so.
I think that the dark haired girl did, because she
Yes,
was trying to stop the bucket. I feel like he was doing it because he was told to, and he kept laying the excuse of because you like my poem. And I feel like he wasn't in it, but he wasn't in on the trick, but he wasn't in on it more than like his girlfriend told him to. And then he took advantage and kissed her anyways. So that guy that
right.
sucks any which way you slice it, actually.
I've always taken that as I'm, he's that's the popular kid. He's the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's basically the he's the popular kid at school. But when he saw the attention that he was receiving when he brought Carrie White
Yeah.
to the prom, it kind of went to like, no, I'm going to show these motherfuckers. And then in there, he saw her, who she was,
Mhm.
of how like fragile. And
Mhm,
like she didn't even want to dance because she's
mhm,
scared. And
mhm.
it's like, well, we can sit here all night. It's like, but I do think, like, did he, like, at that moment he fell in love with Carrie? No, no. He knew what, he was doing something special for somebody, and it was like an honor for him. Like, like, thanks for your
So you mean
service.
he took it seriously for that evening, but that's
Right.
where it ended for him.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
I
I
get,
don't,
yeah, okay.
like, I think as soon as prom was over, he said, "You want to go to the after party?" I think that's when what's her face would have come up and been like, "Hey, I'm glad that you got this," And then then she'd been like, "Now get the fuck off my boyfriend and stuff.
Yeah,
Let's get out
yeah,
of here."
yeah.
They left me at the party, mama. You know, but yes, that's the intention that I think it was kind of going in. Not negative. That was fucking
PJ
John
Souls.
Travolta.
Mhm.
That was the Travolta crew.
Yeah, that guy
And
was he played such a piece of shit in that movie.
yeah.
Dumb shit.
Yeah.
What did I tell you about
Oh
calling
no, he
me
didn't
dumb
even hit
shit?
her that hard. He's like, he
The
did
one of the times he like caught her with one of these guys,
no, no.
but there was a
He's
couple
like,
times when they were driving, he smacked the fuck out of her
Dirty shit!
because
yeah.
he like straight like hit her, and
Nah,
she was like shook up. I
look,
was
and
like, oh, okay.
I do like the part where, like, he's like, "Give me a beer," and like that he drinks the beer, and it's like all over his face. It's like, do you need a sippy cup, John? Do you need a sippy cup? But yeah, I mean, John Travolta is kind of like useless in this movie.
Well, then he goes all psycho on the pig with like no hesitation whatsoever.
Right.
He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna smash this pig's head in. Why also why smash the pig's head in, then drain its blood? Why don't you just slit its throat and drain its blood? Why bash its head in first?
Because
That
catching them
doesn't.
piggies probably were pretty hard. So it's like, and it was probably all done for effect.
They were there at a 4x4 pen. He could have
Right.
caught any one of those pigs.
Come on! Move it up, yeah! That's one, baby, yeah!
He
But
does
yeah, it was
kick one
probably
though. This is like dick.
yeah,
you know.
dick. So
Right.
all right. So what do you think about the mom character? Like, do you think she did a
I
good
love
job?
her.
You
I
liked
think
her?
that's like, if Sissy Spacek did a great job of a emotionally abused child
Yeah.
in a neglectful house, basically. But my God, that mom, her acting, that's the overtop. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Carrie had to play it subtle, or Sissy had to play it subtle, because the mother, like when she's given the alcohol breath story, I
Mm.
could smell it all over
Yeah,
him.
I liked it.
That rot house whiskey. Fucking, I lose my shit every fucking time she does, because she goes through that. Or say it, woman.
Yeah.
Fucking, I
Dude,
just,
that's when I felt the worst when she was reading out of the pages and just hitting Carrie in the face with the
yeah,
book,
like
just
those
like
hits
lightly
look
slapping
more
her.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was just like light little like motherfucker like
No, she's
yeah.
taking the book and like slamming it into fucking Carrie's face there. And then like she drags her into the closet, and like
Mhm.
all of these like real big like issues for 1970s. Like,
Mhm.
were their parents like watching this movie like, yeah, that no good grateful bitch, fucking, she deserves the closet,
That's the thing. There probably was somebody being
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I do what I do to keep you from
Yeah.
like that.
I don't know
That
why I
was
gave it a southern
probably
accent. It probably
well,
could
because
happen in like Missouri too,
yeah,
or
yeah,
fucking,
yeah, yeah.
like,
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, you're right.
I mean, it was the
But
70s.
yeah, all right, cool. But anyways, the fucking there's probably parents out there that are like, that's why I treat you like
Yeah.
that. So you
Yeah.
know better, so that doesn't happen to you. So you don't
Yeah.
turn into a witch on prom night and kill everybody. I'd do it
Exactly.
for you. They like slap her with the tape instead of the book. Like, say it. Say it.
Say it. Yeah. Say it. Eve was wake. Eve was
Yeah,
wake.
yeah,
Fucking, but
yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. The mom has the best lines. I can see your dirty pillows. They're brass, mama.
Yeah.
Fucking like, I love that actress. I think she's great. Like, if I had to put like my top performances, she would definitely go into one of those categories of just
Ever
like
in life or
ever, like
okay.
any
That's a
movie,
big
like top
statement.
5 performances from an actress or actor,
Yeah.
top 5. Carrie's mom has to go in there.
Huh. Okay.
Just then she comes home and she gets that phone call. And then she goes fucking batshit on fucking Carrie. You know, why
Mhm.
didn't you tell me, mama? Like, no, first sin was blood. You know, say it. But then came the ravens. It's just like, where the fuck does it say that in the
Yeah, yeah.
Bible?
Dude, that book was like this fucking thin.
Yeah.
And
No, that
I
was
was
just
like, whenever
brochure.
have you yeah, when have you ever seen anything about religion this fucking thin?
Yeah, shit.
Like, yeah, right. That looked like a fucking folder. Like that looked like a book report.
Right.
Like that's all that shit was.
But another thing, and I think this is where like what gets me more instead of the imagery in the movie is the soundtrack.
Mm.
The soundtrack is very 70s sounding,
Mhm.
but those somber notes, especially like at the end where the house is starting to come down, or
Mhm.
you know, I'm gonna say my prayers, go to bed, mama. And like there it's just this eerie, like happy because it's a flute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a flute, and it's like, how can they make a flute sound scary? They fucking did it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just the music like gets me into that. Like, I don't know, it's eerie to me.
Yeah.
Like, if more than like tubular bells or that sound from The Shining, which are
Mhm.
infamous,
Yeah.
or uh Jason's Kill Mom, or the Halloween theme.
Mhm.
The soundtrack from Carrie just really like has this eerie undertone for me.
Mm.
And
Interesting.
yeah,
I think that like I think that one of the things that I really liked about that, because I didn't take real close notice to the
like
soundtrack
next time,
except
really
for
pay attention to the soundtrack.
in the opening, like in
Hmm.
the shower stuff, I
Right.
noticed that. And then when the house was crumbling, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like the visual of the way the movie's shot, and I'm not talking about like when she's getting slapped in the face with the book,
Mhm.
like when she's starting on her rise up, you know what I
Mm.
mean, like where she starts putting on the makeup and like she's doing these things, like they're like such soft beauty shots of her in
Yeah.
those sequences, like when she's on stage before the blood like it's all this like almost dream sequence, soft filter
Yeah.
type camera angles, and I really really enjoyed that. And then like the low angles when her mom is talking to her, and then like the subtle angle when she's using her power, like all those different things just elevate the visual story that you're getting,
Hmm.
for me at least, because they're just like these cues that your brain just registers like subconsciously.
Yeah.
Like every time she's like looking down, like her mom's looking down at her, the camera angle's always down.
The
uh
mother has the power.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you film that I am the mother and
Mhm.
I will tell you what to do. And then Carrie is always hunched over
Mhm.
and she's all in here, if
Mhm.
you notice. And finally, when prom comes, Carrie opens up.
Right.
She stops, and especially once she's murdered the entire
Right.
school,
Yeah.
she's just walking with her arms straight at her side, and she knows no one can fucking touch me.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Carrie.
Yeah.
She should have
Yeah.
been like just calling out motherfuckers. Fucking
Why
like,
didn't you tell me, mama?
right. The shower scene, exploitation 100% because
Yo, I must have only ever seen the TV version of this because when she was in there, like, I was like, excuse me, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I know I had seen it, but like, I didn't remember it. So I was like, what is, all right. Am I have to jerk off before I watch this movie now? Like, god damn.
right. All right.
And you were worried we weren't going to have anything to talk about.
Right.
Um, all right, let's do it to it.
Okay. Jacob, is it a thrill or a kill?
It's definitely a thrill.
It's a thrill. 100%. I love
Such a
this
good
movie.
storytelling. Yeah.
Right. Cult classic?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I think so too. Not a lot of people talk about it.
Mhm.
I think it is. It's got this niche following. Like I really don't see like a big hype for it, you know? Like it's always left off on people's Halloween check boxes, you know,
Mhm.
Carrie. But
Yeah.
I 100% believe it should be on the Halloween checkbox. Going to the theater?
Yeah, I would definitely see this in theater. I think it would just to see that opening scene on the big screen, dude. Yeah.
With those recliners and shit, you
I
know,
would
it's
I would marry Sissy Spacek now and like
yeah.
walk her into the afterlife because she's old now. But like even in
She's
Castle
not that
Rock,
old.
she looked beautiful. I was like, God damn, she's the most
Yeah.
prettiest lady I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's a great
She
actress
lives in
too.
Virginia too. She lives in
Yes.
Charlottesville. So
Yeah.
I'll just go down there.
With
Like,
Jack Fisk.
yeah,
Jack Fisk is
whatever.
her husband.
Yeah, we'll see.
He worked with David Lynch in a lot of things, and he was the art director in this movie. That's
Yeah,
where
that's
they
cool.
met.
That's cool.
All right.
No marriage
No,
is
I'm
100%.
if am I going to the theater? No. I like this on a small screen. I there's nothing in this movie that would be like, yeah, seeing that on the big screen with a good sound
Come
system.
on, dude. You don't
It's
want to see that big ass fucking ending. You don't want to see that high
maybe,
school scene on a big screen.
maybe.
You just don't
Well,
like going to the theaters.
true.
That is like 90% of the reason you go, I like seeing it on the small screen, is because you don't like going to the movies. So that's a little bit biased, but okay. That's your decision.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I mean I have been wrong before, you know.
Yeah. Well,
So, all right. Give me a stars.
5.
It is a 5-star movie. It is wonderful. It's great, great
Mhm.
movie,
Yeah. Yep.
and it's a simple movie.
It's a pretty perfect horror movie.
Mm-hmm.